When it comes to aberration, rat holes are hidden everywhere, so we proudly present Top 10 Unseen Rat Holes on Aberration. Coming at number 10, this can be found at 48.9 lat and 11.3 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found in the portal area, can be found over here in this little corner. Now it is a little bit tricky to find, but once you find it, it's pretty simple. Now this rat hole is really not meant for a big tribe, so if you're a solo, this is a pretty decent temporary spot until you can get a better spot. Because of course, you know, it's nothing too crazy as it kind of falls down in here, so it's gonna be a bit of a pain to try to defend, but you do have a decent amount of room in here. You can fit maybe like a smithy, a couple forges, just to kind of farm some stuff out for a little bit, so that's what I would definitely use this for. Let's get on to number 9. This video is sponsored by Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company which provides an alternative to alcohol. These drinks give you a high, but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being tropical. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code Outcasts and you will get 25% off your entire order. On top of that, I will be giving away an entire case of seltzers for free. Simply use my code from the date stated and then I will choose a second winner at the end of October. Now, back to the video. Coming at number 9, this can be found at 51.9 lat and 51.7 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found partially in the radiation, partially in the blue zone. So you will take some radiation damage in here, but if you build high enough, you actually won't take any. So anyways, this can be found right here in the main centerpiece, you know, where you go down. Simply fly straight over here, and then as you can see, nice little rat hole in here. Now there are actually about 4 of these, so just kind of be on the lookout for these as they're just absolutely everywhere, and they all kind of range on sizes. So yeah, this is one of the better ones. You know, you can put a cliff plat in here or put a couple foundations, just block off that main entrance, and it's just a nice little cozy spot where you can put the majority of your stuff if you're a smaller tribe. Coming at number 8, this can be found at 10.2 latitude and 45.7 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the green zone, and simply look straight over here next to that like man-made structure area, fly straight over here to the crystal looking area, and you'll see this kind of layout. So this layout has a rat hole actually up in the ceiling, so that does make this pretty overpowered, especially with aberration. There's no flyers, meaning this spot is actually one of the pretty decent spots. The only downside is there's not a ton of room in here, so it's a little tricky to kind of work with, and defending that entrance is always going to be a pain on here, but it does go back a decent way in here. So I mean, you have an okay amount of room, but I would recommend, you know, maybe a 4 to 5 man tribe at most in here, just because it's just going to get kind of crammed up, but you can't really put too many dinos in here. But yeah, other than that, it does make for a pretty decent spot. Coming at number 7, this can be found at 91.8 latitude and 74.4 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over here in the radiation zone. You got to kind of walk into this little I don't know, kind of double-sided lit like cave kind of system, and look for these just long pillars hanging down from the ceiling, and you'll find it pretty easily. Now this is more of a kind of open rat hole, but it still is a decently nice rat hole. Now sadly, how ARK's physics are and how this game works, you can't build on this, which is just absolutely stupid, but you can build cliff platforms on it, so that does kind of help. It's still annoying to figure out how to defend it, but it does make for a pretty decent spot. Coming at number 6, this can be found at 28.8 latitude and 34.1 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the green zone. Simply come over here straight into the corner and you'll find this little kind of opening. So over in this opening, it is a tricky one to spot, but you gotta kind of come all the way back here and you have to crouch, and there is usually a rock in this way, so make sure to just mine that out and you can enter into this thing. So this is your first room, you know, nothing too crazy until you enter into the second room. It starts to get a little bit bigger, and then up here is the real rat hole. So once you fly up, it opens up into this absolutely massive room. Now it's nothing too crazy, but it's big enough to fit an indie forge in here and the new forge as well. And then you also have a 4th room up here. It's nothing crazy, but yeah, overall, this spot's pretty decent. Coming at number 5, this can be found at 15.1 latitude and 31.8 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found right over here next to this kind of ramp structure that's going down. Now if you look over here right on the wall, here's the surrounding area first, you know, got a lot of little fungus things, but yeah, anyways, come straight over here and you'll find this little opening. Now there are a couple of these, I did show one of them, but it was a little bit of a different layout. This one is actually pretty cool. So the only way to really get in here is to kind of fly up or just climb your way up, and it opens up into an okay sized rat hole. So if you're a smaller tribe looking for a nice little hidden spot to just build for a while, I would highly recommend this, as all you need to do is just put a good amount of heavy turrets as spam, and I mean, you're chilling in here. So yeah. Coming at number 4, this can be found at 14.0 latitude and 34.2 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found again in the green zone. Come right over here. Now this one is very tricky to find, so just do exactly as I do and just follow this little path right here, and you'll find these beds. Not the beds, you know, the little crystals next to it. Anyways, fly straight up in here, and it opens up into a pretty decently sized rat hole. Now this is your first room right here, and overall, I mean, yes, it is kind of awkward to work with, but it is pretty big. So as you're kind of going through here, it basically just keeps going. It just really doesn't end here. So yeah, goes into a second room, but it's really all connected as just one giant thing. It's just super awkward to figure out how to actually live in here. That's the biggest downside with this rat hole, but overall not bad at all. Coming at number 3, this can be found at 63 latitude and 36.4 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found partially in the radiation zone and in the blue zone. So as you can see right up here, now this one is one of the harder ones to find, but it is one of the better ones. So just kind of look around the terrain and you should be able to spot it. It is going to be tricky, but kind of fly straight up here. I mean, I show you guys a couple key points to kind of give you guys a good feel of where this thing is. But yeah, fly straight over here. Well, not fly, but you know, just kind of maneuver your way straight over here, and you'll find this entrance. It is a tricky one to find, but once you find it, I mean, you're perfect. It opens up into this absolutely insanely big rat hole. There is so much room in here, and since ARK doesn't want to patch the mesh holes or one of the biggest rat holes in here, I would highly recommend just living in here because they don't really care anymore. So yeah, if you're looking for an amazing spot to live in, definitely go check this one out. Coming at number 2, this can be found at 74.4 latitude and 28.3 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found right next to this waterfall right here. Pretty easy to spot. Just go straight next to this waterfall and you should easily find this location. So as you can see, here's the surrounding terrain, and then see where that little bed is? That is your entrance right in there. So again, it is a little bit tricky to find, but once you find it, I mean, you're chilling. Just look for the awkwardly different looking, you know, opening right there. But yeah, so this one's nothing too crazy, but it does have these nice little walls right here, which you can put a lot of cliff platforms on, making for a pretty decent area. And you can do multiple layers. You know, you have a lot of room to work with, but again, it's nothing too crazy. It is probably one of the better ones on this list, but yeah, it's not a bad rat hole to live in at all. And finally, coming at number 1, this can be found at 67.0 latitude and 60.2 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the radiation zone, and just kind of follow my exact path. Again, these are always super tricky to find, but once you find them, you know, it's like after you find them, it's super easy to find. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But look for this little kind of pathway down here and go straight up to the ceiling and look for the giant sticking out thingy. I'll just say that. And yeah, just look for this little area right here, and you can kind of, you know, get your way in here. And it does open up into a massive rat hole as well. Now there are 2 different entrances. I decided to go into the kind of rough one that's pretty hard to get into. So it is on the left. So just kind of look for that. Anyways, this is another insanely big rat hole, and overall, I mean, it's not a bad spot at all. You're never going to run out of room in here, and like I said, since ARK doesn't really care about patching these, highly recommend living in here. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, and hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.